What is up guys, Matt here from the Toasty Bros, and I'm here with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you all a little bit of a lesson that I learned very much when buying used hardware on Craigslist. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So before I get into this video, there's a lot of people who always criticize me for having a very dirty room, and for much reason, this room is incredibly dirty now. Very dirty right now because of a lot of PC hardware thrown all over the place, but you know what? You're just gonna have to cope with me because this is a very, very interesting story. So there's a used hardware battle going on YouTube, and it's gonna be something that's gonna be coming out somewhere down the line. It might not include this graphics card that I'm gonna be talking about, but we'll see when it comes down to it. But you'll learn more when I finish talking about it in the story. So Matt, what are you talking about, you might ask? Well, on Craigslist, I found a deal on a graphics card. I'm not gonna name this graphics card because I might use it in an upcoming video, but I found a great deal on one. Just trust me on it. It was a very great deal. The graphics card was new in box and everything was going really well. I went and met the guy. The guy was like 17 years old, looked really cool, just told me he upgraded from the graphics card that I got to a 980 Ti, and he had a pretty decent upgrade. And this graphics card was no super budget card. It was actually a pretty decent card. Like a year ago, it was a very viable option for people at 1080p. Now this card came in and it looked really good. It looked fine. There was nothing wrong with it cosmetically. There was no like shorting on the PCB. The PCB looked very fine. There was no rusting. There was no issues. I looked over and over it before I handed the guy the money. It looked perfectly fine. I even took a picture and shared it to some of my admins on Discord to check it out to make sure it looked good. And I went from there. The guy even reassured me that it was tested and working properly. He even showed me some gameplay of it running and that sort of stuff, and it looked really well. Now, I am a very trustworthy person, and that is kind of my downfall at the same time. Seeing gameplay and its actual usage did kind of lean me towards it being a working GPU, but there are some scenarios where it might not be the case. Now, one, I don't really know if I should be blaming the seller or blaming me, but somewhere within the process of me getting the GPU and me transporting it back home, the GPU died. It does not work at all. Here is my troubleshooting use case, and use this as need be, because if you're in a kind of situation like I am when you're troubleshooting a GPU or something like that, this is what I like to follow. First up, this GPU is going to be going in this system that I was going to be doing. It's actually sitting right over here. You can't see it, but it's going to be going in a system right here. Now, this GPU fit in the system, worked very well, and it booted up, but the issue was there was no display output, which is actually one of the worst things you can fear when it comes to GPUs. What I did next was, okay, maybe it's a power supply issue. Maybe there's not enough power getting to the GPU, because the power supply I got with this system was kind of flaky. So what I did was take the GPU out and then test it with the same power supply, and it booted up just fine, no issues at all. So I knew, okay, the GPU must be the variable, let's make sure of it. So what I did was transport the GPU into my PC, and boom, did the same issue. So right then and there, I could have stopped testing and I could have just attested this whole issue to the GPU. But I had to test further to make sure it wasn't just a driver conflict with the drivers that are already installed on my PC and the drivers that might be installed on this machine, because I never did a fresh install of Windows. So I did a fresh install of Windows on this machine, and it still did the same issue. I uninstalled all the drivers on my PC thinking it might be the power supply still the same issue. This GPU has some issues. Now, luckily the manufacturer, which I won't disclose because it kind of gives away the actual GPU, has a lifetime warranty, so you might be able to guess which actual GPU manufacturer this is, and they never registered the warranty for this GPU, so there is a chance. I did file a claim to see if I could get a replacement of this GPU, so that's why I'm not really disclosing this information yet. But in another video, if I don't get this GPU and I have to go pick up another one, then I will disclose what I got and what the deal was, because it is a very, very good deal. I just don't want to disclose it for my competition out there in case I actually get this GPU back in the mail on RMA. A lesson I want to let you all know on: PC hardware is awesome when you buy it used, and if you use Craigslist or eBay, it's a very awesome resource to get a very good deal, because things like CPUs and GPUs normally don't fail, especially when GPU hardware nowadays is becoming more and more durable. You could get a used GPU and you'd be normally fine. But incidents like this do happen, and you have to keep that in mind. There is a slight risk when you're buying a GPU used. Same when you're buying one new, but when you buy one new, you have the ability to RMA it and get it returned. And with Craigslist, you have people who will not give you a refund. So with me, I am out of pocket $120 on this GPU, which is actually a good deal for what it is, but it's still $120 out of my pocket that I can't use for a build, and I don't make that much money in general, especially on YouTube or in my job as being a college student. I'm about to have to pay a bunch of things, and I can't afford to drop another 120 bucks or so on another GPU. What's the moral of this story? Well, be very careful. If at all case, get a place to where you can actually test the hardware with the person you're buying it from. If that's eBay, you have PayPal to fall back on. If the hardware doesn't work, you have PayPal that you can fall back on, which is actually a very awesome, valuable resource. So eBay is a very safe way to buy used hardware. But when I'm talking about Craigslist, be sure to see the CPU, GPU, RAM, whatever you're buying in actual action and working before you buy it, because this can lead to fixing a lot of issues. And if you see any issues with it at all, or you feel any bit weird about the whole scenario, like the guy is forcing it off on you or anything like that, I would definitely walk away from the situation, take your money, and don't force it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing me learn my lesson on this graphics card. It does exist. I know you're probably like, this graphics card doesn't exist, it's not a real thing. It's actually sitting right over there behind this chair. I just don't want to disclose the information yet because this is for a very big build series we're going to be doing. And I don't want to give away the specs, it will just totally ruin the concept of the video. But anyways, the graphics card, I hope I can get an RMA on. If not, I'm kind of straight out of luck, but who knows? It's a life lesson I can tell you all, and it makes a pretty good video to talk about, and I haven't really had a sit down talk session with you all in a long time, so I really wanted to do that in this video. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, leave a like. If you disliked this video, leave a dislike, and comment down below what you think of this video. And if you bought any used hardware and had any horror stories like this one, if you like this video so much that you want to see more of our content, be sure to hit that subscribe button to follow all our content when it comes and get notified when it releases. And I hope you guys have a great Monday, and stay tuned to later this week. We're going to be having a revival video, a video that we made way back in the day, but a higher end version of it. So be sure to check that out. It's going to be really awesome, and we're very excited for that to happen. Thank you again, guys, for all the love and the support, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.